Do simply, be simply who you must be to win. Growing up, if you've been anyone that's been now becoming aware of this fact, and if you're in the pool, if you're in the shithole, you don't know what the other side is like. And for me, in contrast, my current life, this current existence has been, you've had, I say you, me, anyone who I wish to talk to in the European countries, the world, the free lands. We've now had an education system that truly indoctrinated us. Now, I'm not here to complain, but just to illuminate this fact, which you must become aware of. The schools, just your whole life. Like, if you're 20, right? I'm 23, 22, 21. Like, and that I'm alive. And when we come to discover, it was simply forcing you to be docile. It was forcing you to be submissive. It was forcing you to accept what other people said, to validate, to be worthy of. It was completely set up to create slaves, not masters. You must be the master of your soul, the master of your destiny, the captain of your soul. Right? You must learn how to steer your own ship, to create your own path, to set your own course. And most people do not have the brains, the heart for it. They do. We all do. But to actually have it, right? We all have the potential. What one man can do, another man can do. But what does he will to be, right? What unique expression does that soul courageously dare to dream the impossible dream and to live and walk that path? Not because someone else is saying, yeah, you can do it, or that's possible here, we'll tell you what to do. Is this in your own volition to be your own creator? That is the gift literally given to us. The greatest gift, to become cosmic beings. It's a big story there. All I wanted to come on to was awaken to you, for you to know this. Like, if you're getting to this point, if you're like 20, it means literally your whole life since you were 5, right? Since you were cognizant, but we come into like cognizance when we're like 7, roughly, right? And then you come into puberty when you're like 12 to 14, around those times. These are establishing facts. In the old past, there were kings that were like 14 that would lead their whole empire to take to wars and all this good stuff. There were emperors of Rome at like, 17, 20. And now what do we find? Well, just look at the men, because it's what's got to be like. I mean, yeah, look at the women. Fuck. I say that. Obviously not, but there's look at how the men are. The society. We now are so submissive. We were letting anyone come into our government. We're so fucking stupid. We're voting for people who are clearly lying. Obviously, they're using black magic and they're decepting people and they're brainwashing people. And it's, of course, you know the quote with brainwashing, it's easy to be convinced that you're not brainwashed than to be. It's easier to be brainwashed than to be convinced that you are. And this is for myself, right? I'm awakening out of sin, out of ignorance, right? Falling short from that greatest power, that purpose, that being that to which I possess the power to be. But it is in my own development, my own practice, my own application of it, right? Dream the dream, but then take decisive action towards those specific ends. And so what I brought up at the start of this video is to be victorious. Victorious. What a word. That word has not been uttered in my cognizance, in my life, until a couple weeks ago. To be victorious. And to use your life, your time, your energy, your presence for the greatest purpose, not to succumb to the upheavals or the circumstance. We create the opportunity. It was our ancestors that created the technology, the means to grow and support, to expand, right? Australia was first called New Holland, to create, named after Holland. New Zealand was named after Zealand. America was named after America, which was the center of England. I'm not sure about Canada, but this I just found out about America today. And there's so much bullshit online, especially with all the new age information. There's all this information about, it's just criticizing white people over and over again. And white people have allowed it through what I would argue this innate gene within us, is higher love. And I'm going to say that because that's what I conceive to be true. Is this fact that we're growing up in New Zealand, all these white people constantly would just criticize white people. They'd criticize people who had big corporations or anything like that, who were rich, who were well off, just constantly criticizing, not knowing the law, right? Not being connected to the understandings through the great psychology given in the Bible and all these other great mysteries. All of it was criticized. And what we would do would feel guilty. We'd be like, oh, no, you're right. You know, we did do that. We did do this. Oh, I guess you're right. I should just like let you carry on. I should feel bad about myself. I should feel weak and poor, and you know, I should. But it's like bullshit. There's so much banter, so much mind fuckery. It's convinced people to change their gender. Like, how more fucked does it have to become? And people think it's normal. People think it's normal just for for our political leaders to start opening our borders. Have we not seen our normal societies where we have fences everywhere? We have fences, walls to separate, to contain, and now we just have open borders. It's so reversed. We know all this shit. But what can one man do? What can you do? What can I do? There's so much. To know first, to seek, to first put no other God before my own. I am the God that you are, the Son of God. To know the true knowledge of this. To seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. For all things will be added on. All things, wisdom, knowledge, the path, the direction, right? Greater things, not just the worldly things that will go away with the earth, but the heavenly things of great character, of great courage, of true mass to direct the worlds, the operating, to be a leader in your family, for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your whole country and race and culture to the world. There's the greater responsibilities, the power to use. But we're so weak these days. Our civilization is weak, where people don't even recognize their power to say, hold up, this is not for me. I don't want this. I don't accept this, and choose to change. If it's in the politics or if it's in the personal life, having drugs, having relationships you don't want, having the career you don't want, or having politics, having the shit education and lies and sin and deception and foulness and selfishness, all that, to choose not to accept it. It is taking away our liberty, our true freedom of having a prosperous nation, a connected community. It's destabilizing that. It's a threat. And who has the power, let alone the responsibility to tackle that? You do. I have it. And until we recognize that individually, to take that up and heed that truth for ourselves, no one can enforce it on you. Great beings throughout all the ages want us earnestly to have the great knowledge, to know who we are, to have great self-worth, to use our power, to invoke our decrees, right? Your affirmations. But for it to not be selfish, because there's so much less energy in that. It's just you. But when you choose to live for others, for the greatness of life, for all to come, for all generations, for all eternity, you take that energy. It is given freely to you. For it is there for its own support. It's to not, in the sense, not use your manifestations or your desires for selfishness, but to be selfless in it. And it's the glory, the true, when you earnestly love that, when you earnestly do it for the right cause, righteousness, you stand in thus that power, that union with God through which all things are made. And so you stand for that eternal glory, that eternal victory. We find freedom, we find grace, we find wellness and prosperity in that peace, in that union, in that power. So eternal victory, gentlemen and ladies. It is in your power, your will. I am that I am. I will be what I will be. Right? I am Alpha, Omega. Know it. I, right? Who do I choose to be? And thus am. It is done. There's so much wisdom. I've been learning for years. And for centuries, like when we learn our soul and our true purposeful growth, it is over eons. Eons. I don't even know how long eons is. Is it like a million years? Like, your soul isn't just a one-off hit. It is an immortal soul. It is the Son of God, made in the divine image. And if you don't know what that is because you don't know God, it means your soul is incorruptible. It is pure divine love and substance. And we must connect to that. We must remember that truth. Thus we bring it down from heaven into earth. We bring it from within as without. This is the workings of the Word made flesh, your thoughts and your feelings, the invisible construct of that makes up the whole universe, comes to formalize electricity, the electrical expression. Your body, 4 trillion volts, an electrical expression. Right? You are not your body, but your body is an expression of you. This world is not God, but it is an expression of God. And we say how everything is God because it's all magnetism. It's all dielectricity made manifest. So stick around. This is the Sovereign Warriors. You're at the beginning, right? Grace, patience, but preparation, right? Facing, having that good fight, having that victorious journey, the adventure. I love the journey. I love the adventure, the mysticism, the magic, what's behind the next corner. But then it comes to this earthly sense. You know what's behind it because you're creating it. You're choosing every day what you put your energy on, how you choose to control your thoughts, how you control your feelings, which is a very huge, important part in this current age to recognize. How you control your bodies, your deeds, your actions, the causes to many effects. To understand your astral side, the etheric part of you, which is divine. There's so much. There's so much love and wisdom and help if we would only see it and recognize it and use it. It is divine. It changes your life and it accelerates. This is why helping each other progresses the world in such greater ways. Right? To know that you can only read so many books. Right? There's a part of a thing of this world where people reject death. I was a part of that to some respect. I kind of knew that, like, reincarnation, kind of God, sort of. But time. I took a screenshot of it from this beautiful. Do not squander time. That is the stuff life is made of. Do not squander time. What do we choose to do with our fullness? There's a point I would have said, but that's all for today. Heed the lessons. Remember what you learned. Write it in your comments. Victory, my boys. Let's go.